guys!
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful couch. Thank you, Roderick, for calling in from... Where are you, Roderick?
In France.
Beautiful. Beautiful. This is Dan and this is Mel. And today we are here to talk about personal art. So I prepared some questions. They are okay questions. Mm-hmm. If you guys have questions, feel free to talk and ask. Let's just have a nice, relaxing talk about personal art. Yep, I'm going to start with Roderick. What usually causes you to abandon a personal project?
It drags on too long, I think. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah. Like the initial idea just fizzles out, and then it's hard to maintain if the project's too long, I think.
That's true, yeah.
What is the
Gotta be-
longest
gotta be-
project you've had then, Roderick, before you quit?
The what?
What is the longest project
The
you've
time?
done before you quit? Like, at what point was it, like, getting too long?
I don't know, because I just go by feel. I don't measure it out any tangible. It's just like,
Okay.
if it just feels too long. Sorry. Yeah, but then weirdly sometimes it's like a project that does last extremely long is actually good because it feels like it's building up to something really big, and then that's very exciting too. So like the inverse works as well. But as long as there isn't like a pressure of like, I need to finish exactly at this time. Maybe it's a way out of not actually finishing things. But like I've had a big drawing I'm kind of working on bit by bit for like 2 years now. This big like Warhammer thing. I'm still working on that, Mark, by the way. But like, I want to make this huge painting, and I like the fact that it's lasting a long time. So it's like, it's not like it's over until it's fit. I like just to have big project just lingering like that in the back that I could just go back to, kind of thing. But then if I actually, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I think it's a good segue because Mel has been working on a project for a very long time. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure, so for almost 2 years now, I've been working on my own animatic pilot called Whalefall. And it's finally going to be finished in a couple months. Honestly, some days I'm not really sure how I've been able to remain so consistent with it for almost 2 years now. That project, it started as just me wanting to make a portfolio piece, actually. This was all the way back in like around the end of 2024. I was just intending to make a new storyboard portfolio piece, and it was based around an idea that I was interested in developing out. And at the time, I only wanted it to be maybe like 4 minutes long at max, but because I was so interested in this idea at the time, I just wanted to keep developing it out until I was happy with it. So it just kept getting longer and longer when I realized like, oh, this part of the story isn't working so well. I think I need to pad it out here. This scene needs to be here, so this makes more sense. And I get feedback from people on what they thought about the pilot at that point in time. And based on their feedback, I would add more scenes that I felt like would help the pacing. And I think that's how it just ended up getting bloated to this point. I think I had enough passion for this idea that I wanted to see it through, and I had stuck with it so long that it felt like it would be a waste for me to not finish this project. And I've had to develop this mentality as well throughout this time that a finished project is better than a perfect one, because it has come to the point that some days I'm like, I've spent way too much time on this project, and I can see that the level that I've become since starting this project is so much more than when I started it at the beginning. But I need to finish this project at this point in time, almost like a time capsule, I feel, for who I was as an artist at that point and have grown into throughout this whole project. And then after that, I have this complete piece that I can look back on in time and make improvements for the next project too.
Makes sense. Do you have like ever like think about do you chase the scope creep, or do you just kind of like give yourself like a range in which you're just like, okay, if it goes this far, then I'm just going to keep it this far?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
How did
or
I
do you,
even
like-
manage my scope creep?
Because you told us that it's like an idea that just became like
Yes,
you
it
were
just
more
kept
interested
getting
in.
longer.
At what point were you just like, okay, well, let's add this, and let's add this, and let's add this, and then at what point were you like, okay, no, this is like there's a line, right?
I think it was probably around. It was at the start of this year. I redid the intro and I redid the ending, and I think at that point everything was in place for like a proper 3-act structure, and I knew this project was already getting too long, right? So at that point I'm like, okay, I think I need to call it for myself here. I know that I can make an even better project as an artist, as who I am as an artist right now, but I need to finish this project as it is right now so that I don't burn myself out by continuing to redo this project. Because I do think redoing the intro and the ending, I was close to burning out because I was so exhausted at this point. I'm like, no more changes, because if I lose momentum here, then I cannot finish this project. So at that point, I gotta call it and I gotta push through to the end. In saying that though, it's almost September and I haven't finished it yet. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have anything to add to that, Mark?
I mean, it's really hard for me to relate because Mel's been working on this for 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and I can't fathom the idea of that. I feel like I have the problem that you just mentioned with the scope creep, and if I have a project, I just want to keep reworking it because I see all the problems and I don't even want to like fix it. But then I'm like, oh, just push a little bit, and then before I know it, it's like I don't even want to do this anymore. And I guess that is that point of burning out. And for me, I feel like maybe it's hard for me to like even recognize it, and I just keep wanting to do it and. Or whatever, just start again, and then with my new knowledge, it will be better the second time. And just, it's like not great. And I love when you said that a finished project is better than a perfect project, because obviously I'm not going to be making a perfect project. And I always have that problem where the longer I work on something, the better I get, and so then I see the flaws in it, and then I want to do it again, and it's just like this cycle that I guess doesn't let me finish a lot of things. So yeah,
That's true.
I think that's great. That's really good.
Do you guys like?
Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead then.
Like, because I know you paint, and I'm pretty sure Rod, you paint as well, right? Do you guys like
Yeah.
struggle with like scope creep stuff where it's like, before you start painting, do you need to know where like roughly like where you're gonna end off, or do you just keep adding, or like want to keep adding to it to try to like perfect it?
Yeah, it depends on. I think what I've tried to do more and more is like I do like what's the word? Like I compile things that I like, and then I sort of omit the ones that don't, like visually on a board, and then over time, most of my paintings like they tend to like revolve around those similar things, even if the subject matter changes. So I find that like if I'm just intuitively I feel excited by the thing, I try to identify what that thing is, and then omit the things that like the scope creep that isn't serving that thing. Like sometimes I found like I might want to do a painting of I don't know, like could be like Warhammer kind of thing, and I think that what I want to do in it is add all this cool stuff that adds more narrative, whatever, but actually what excited me the most, maybe the top 2 things or whatever, was a certain color palette and a certain like material that I want to render or something. And if I focus on those 2 things, that'll keep me more excited and not overwhelmed by all the other things, because that's the most intense interest in for that piece kind of thing. That's how I try to manage the scope creep with painting.
I relate so hard to
If
what
that
you
makes
said,
sense.
Roderick, because
Yeah.
like you start the painting thinking like, okay, I just want this and this. Like I just want to have like this nice material and this specific shot. And then as you work into it, as you go through the finishing process, you're like, oh no, wait, I need to add like a little bit more story to this area. Like this drawing on this part is like isn't gonna be like make sense. Now I need to fix all these things, and slowly I like build more and more into it until like it just I lose the original vision. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
How about you, David?
Daniel?
Daniel, sorry.
Yeah. Let's go. I feel like I haven't really dabbled too much into like personal projects. I really don't like things taking so long of a time.
Mm.
Yeah. Or I feel like I find myself switching or scrapping ideas every like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. It's like, so if I can't get it out, if I can't get an idea out to a certain amount in a certain amount of time, then I tend to just kind of like give up on it.
Mm.
But if I have something that I kind of like, then I'll push it, like I'll put it on the back burner because I know I can't finish it now, but I have all these ideas that I can come back to, and then maybe later on I can pick up those ideas again. And like I'm coming from like an animation point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so for me it's very like I'll try an idea out maybe, right? Or at least I want to, and then I'll see how far I can get, and then if I'm satisfied within like a week or two, then I'll choose if I want to keep pursuing this or just put it on the side. And then later on when I come back, or like when I'm like have that many ideas, I go back to those ideas and maybe just try to finish those. Like I feel like ever since I was like in high school, we're given like 1 whole year to finish one major project. But like for my major projects, I switched my idea up until 3 weeks before my HSC thing was due. So like
Wow.
yeah, so I had a whole year to do this, and then I started from scratch 3 weeks before my due date, and I still submitted it.
Wow.
So like I don't know.
Did that come from a place of like you weren't happy with the project, the idea, sorry, at the 1 week mark, so then you changed to the next idea, or you just have so many ideas you like and you want to keep trying all of them?
I feel like I don't have ideas that I like.
Oh,
So-
really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think of an idea, but then once I start getting into it, I'm just like, okay, no, maybe this is not gonna work. Yeah.
Oh.
And I kind of don't see through the end. But then after you do that a bunch of times, like you kind of realize like some things just tick the box really well, and then you just want to keep that. Or like the deadline is a very big motivation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was also gonna ask, like, how did you settle on your final idea? Was it just because the deadline was there?
I'm
so you
just
had to
like,
pick
I had to
something?
roll the dice and just be like, okay, if whatever my next idea is, I have to commit to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, that depends. If I have an infinite amount of time, then I'm gonna take an infinite amount of hours. So.
Mm.
But yeah.
So you need that.
Made a noise.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you were just saying if there's an infinite time, you think that you're going to take that infinite time.
Yeah.
And that essentially you kind of need not just one. You need that external deadline in order for you to be able to complete a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I relate to that. Yeah.
I think something that's helped with Whalefall as well is I think last August I started promoting my project through Instagram Reels. And a big motivator for finishing the project is all these random people, they're really excited to see this final project. So now I have people that I need to finish the project for, if not they're gonna be disappointed.
Expectations.
Yeah, there's expectations
Expectations.
now. And it's very sweet. I love all these random people just saying how excited they are for my project. And you know, I can't give up now. People are waiting. So I think that's an extra motivator for having to finish the project now. In addition to because I've spent so much time on the project as well, you know, I think it's too late to quit. If I don't finish it, then there's gonna be no reward for all this time that I've spent, I think.
You have the reward at the end?
I think, like, it's also part of why I really love storyboarding and animatics, because it's a draft version of an animation, but you can play an animatic like you're watching a film. So I'm just making films essentially for myself when I make these animatics. So it's so satisfying to just be able to watch the final film and be like, I've created a film. That's like, you know, that's amazing, right?
That's cool, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger, what do you think? Because, like, we do still images, and, like, honestly, maybe... is it harder to do a still image because it's just not as exciting? Like, with a storyboard, there's this very clear story, and you can just play it through, and you're like, yeah, this... Even though I can change it here, like, I'm going to focus on the story. Whereas with a singular image, like, especially depending on the way you work, it's so easy to lose that vision because you can just like, and it's digital and you just, it's so easy to make changes and so easy to lose that vision. That's what I'm trying to get at. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I do like a lot of like thumbnailing, like even just in my sketchbook a lot. That actually helps with keeping the vision like centered, because sometimes I almost go overboard with planning and not actually doing it. So I'm trying to do the opposite. But like actually just looking at the tiny thumbnail and getting the shapes, and if the shapes are exciting, then the whole thing's probably going to be exciting from my experience. So like that, and then if I include narrative in that thumbnail, then that'll help, because it'll be like, okay, if I maintain this to the end, then the excitement will be there in the final one, plus all the rendering and all that stuff. But
so you're actually...
But also I have tons of ideas for animation stuff though. Actually, I don't do it because I know it's going to take a lot of time. But like I think a lot of like storyboarding stuff, like short story stuff, or little game animation stuff, like little movements for the characters and stuff like that. But yeah, just in my mind.
Yeah, I'd love to see that from you, Roderick. Please make these little animation vignettes.
Yeah, I like stop motion stuff as well. That stuff's really cool. It's really cool to make.
So good.
Stop motion is cool.
I'm just going to mention this because I know Roderick likes Craig Mullins, but I did a Craig Mullins class.
Oh my god, yeah.
One of the assignments was like, he did this like, it's like, can I take a painting and like make like an animation of the person like turning or like the painting like moving? And I feel like he put that assignment out there and like 90% of the class just like dropped out.
I mean, that's so much work. They do homework every week too.
He didn't even. I'm pretty sure that wasn't an example either. It's just like
it's just told you.
It's really good. It's just really good. Just and you trust him because this is Craig Mullins. It must be good, you know.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I mean, I don't think it's inherently a bad exercise. It's just so much work. Like, do you know what you're asking your students to do? Roderick,
did he want you to paint like a whole full rendered frame, like actually animate the character, or just paint him in a different position and like a second painting? Is that what the thing was?
I think it's a series of paintings indicating something moving to show that you can paint form. Like it's the idea of like being able to like rotate form and understanding the light. And just having that really...
Yeah, I see.
Oh my god.
You still need like...
Yeah, I see the idea behind it. There's cool things also, though, I found that you could play with creatively with a still image to suggest narrative. Like, I've seen some paintings, even like old Renaissance stuff, where they're like contemplating one part of the image is technically actually happening like a few seconds after the other. And you can do stuff like that, where it's like, I don't know, characters like character... But the character that is receiving the hit is maybe reacting of somebody that's reacting a bit later. You can just get quite clever with that, even if it's a still image within the same picture. And it won't be jarring because it's how your mind will process it intuitively. No one's saying exactly when it's happening, it's just how it's felt. That kind of stuff's cool as well.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah, I love that.
Love that.
You should send us some of these paintings. I don't think I've ever seen these before.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a distinct thing. It's just a concept that I don't know exactly where I saw it. It's just you can see it in just different things, you know, like like the Craig Mullins thing, I guess. Imagine if you draw one of the characters in a frame after the other, or like, I don't know, like something in the scene is set before, like foreshadowing, stuff like that, using lighting or whatever. Yeah, but with time, like in there. I mean, if you go like all the way, like crazy with that, it'd basically be like you could fragment a character's movement, like or like you know, Steve Houston, Mark, the guy that's
The camera turned off again.
like he's kind of doing that. He's gonna like got the fragmented like arm moving. It looks like it's actually in different positions.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's almost like a new way of doing comic making, but through painting.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, I kind of want to.
You should try it. Yeah.
The thing about thumbnailing, Roderick, is like. So one idea of thumbnailing is like you think of the small thing and it's the big, and it's like the abstract vision of the arrangement of shapes, and then you're excited about this abstract vision, and then you flesh it out with the story and make it sense of it. But in what you just described, the thumbnail would be kind of feeling different, because the thumbnail is more something like something to be drawn out. You know what I mean? Because there's things that are, they're not happening sequentially. They are happening sequentially, but it's like within the same still frame, and it's a very drawing thing rather than like a abstract color shape thing, right?
You mean like because you want to see the subject matter actually evolve?
Yeah, I want to see like someone like punching and then the other person, they're like already getting hit, you know, like.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I guess I'm thinking more just on if something's working on the abstract level, then it depends on the thing, I guess. Like, then even when you add subject like that, like a particular action, if the shapes in the comp are exciting, it'll just deliver at least part of the painting will be exciting. Then you'll have to focus maybe on the narrative if you want to exactly show something. But at least that whatever narrative you do have will look cool or interesting, whatever. If your thumbnail looks interesting, that's what I think. Anyway, but yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Man, I want to do thumbnails now. I'm gonna do thumbnails.
Because the point of the thumbnail, I thought, is like, so when you have the idea for a painting, you have this is my theory, or my idea of what is inside a painting.
We are live again.
Okay.
It's just Mark changing the battery every 10 minutes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, it's kind of paid for.
Okay.
Oh,
So as a painter, is it before you've even started the painting, you have an idea of what the final vision is in your head, and it's like frustrating that you can't visualize it that quickly. So you thumbnail trying to get a vague idea of it, and you're just like pushing until you get to that final vision in your head. Is that how you feel when you paint?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sometimes it depends. No, yeah, usually I think, or like you just I don't know, kind of abstract. It should feel a certain way with the colors and shapes. A lot with color, I think, for me.
Okay.
I think what you described is actually perfect because it sounds like what you should be doing.
Oh, okay. But how do you actually
you do
feel
it,
then?
yes.
Yeah, when you are painting.
I mean, if I thumbnail, it's like, it's like you can thumbnail just to like pump out the painting, but in a small form. And you're like, yeah, is this good? Oh, it'll be better if I did this. And you do another thumbnail. Oh, what if it was like a higher angle? And then, actually, no, the first one was the best. And then you're like, okay, you know that composition works as a thumbnail, and therefore if it works as a small image, you just blow it up, and then you fill in the other stuff, and it should theoretically work because it works as a small image. The issue is, what worked as a small image there's a lot of problems that need to be solved in the larger image. And that's where it's so easy to get lost, because it's like the small image, it's like, oh, the perspective didn't matter that much, but then now it's coming to like it's starting to become an issue, or like there's like the shape looks really cool, but then now you need to finagle the reality to like bend into those shapes, and that's like, I guess, technical challenges. And it's just that depending on what thumbnail is there and then what your final vision is trying to be, there could be a lot of those technical challenges you don't anticipate, and that can just throw you off from finishing the images.
So you'd say that's what you
So
struggle
then-
with
Yeah.
in painting.
And
Yeah,
that's
so
what-
go.
I feel like that's why a lot of people who paint are also, they're just so obsessed with like, I just need to find a good process and then I'll be able to
Yeah.
get my vision and then boing, close my eyes, open my eyes and use my special process powers and there's my finished painting. But I feel like the truth is, even like, we all definitely want a process to have that, but at the same time, every painting is different, or will have different challenges, and if you're painting with the idea of like keeping a good vision, I think you probably just have to accept those changes, which is really hard to do.
Yeah, I think sometimes with that Mark, like when you're making it big and then you have to accept all the technical stuff, it's just like, to what degree do you want to accept that it's going to be more on the
That's true.
abstract to the like solidly drawn or whatever, because then it's just because we're all going to be at a different level and you're never going to master like all the aspects. So I don't know, I kind of just measure at what level I am, like I'm doing it now, like, and scaling the painting, like I'm saying, well, if there's a certain level of technical perspective that's going to be required and it's going to be so long until that thing's finished now, I just rather do something actually smaller, way smaller, keep the freshness of the thumbnail, and at least the shapes will look kind of cool, even though the perspective and all that won't be as like explicitly focused on. Then I'll be for that one, and then as I work on my skills, just being able to draw better and better, I'll be able to do those technical things more proficiently, and then I could do bigger paintings kind of things, like just scaling as to whatever stage you're at with your skills.
I think that's a good point, and like maybe one of the solutions for us, Roderick, to help this painting process is actually not just thumbnailing like one aspect of the image, but thumbnailing all the aspects of the image. So like you have your thumbnail wherever, if that's drawing, if that's color, and then one of the technical things is like, let's say the materiality, and then I guess instead of tackling everything on the final image, like breaking that down on smaller pieces. I mean, it sounds so basic. Like old masters used to
It is.
before they make the full image. You can see Lion Decker with like all the studies of like all the individual things, like how the tie is done.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
I was that with a lot of the painters I was looking at, like Fetchin, because I like him, and even all the other classic ones like Soroya and those classic painters. It's like they're just doing tons of drawings before. Even I have a book on those Orientalist painters, and like they do like there's a full scene they're gonna paint, but right next to it they've done a whole extremely detailed drawing of all the cross contours in that image with ink before as a completely separate image. So like whatever that artist is doing, they seem to like know when they do the painting exactly how the form goes, because they just do it so meticulously in preparatory stuff before. It's not a coincidence that this stuff looks so like solid and 3D in the final painting, because they just so like once you get so good at being able to just draw things like from all different perspectives, you could just jam with it and distort the shape to conform to your thumbnail and stuff like that. But yeah, there's like so much work I think that's put behind that than what it looks in the final, especially if it's like kind of very fresh looking in the final painting.
Yeah, I think
Get disguised.
Like just in general life, I feel like we're bombarded with images are so cheap, especially like with many different software out there. Like we see imagery all the time that we think that we can like output it like very quickly, but I think we
that's true.
We need to take that step back and just accept that if we want to make the images that we want to make, we need to be taking the time that we need to take. And
Yeah.
so maybe it's just like Mel, and Mel's doing 2 years for their project. Like, we need to accept that it might take a long time, and then Mel puts out like little pieces of the project online. Maybe those equivalent would be like the studies or like the drawings. Like, you're just taking like one person from the drawing and you can study that out, and then that's technically something you can show other people, or if you want to do something like that.
Yeah.
Do you have something like that for yourself as well, Dan? Because I see you do a lot of like animation studies all the time. Do you have like a bigger vision one day you want to work towards? But for the moment, you're doing all these exercises so you can visualize that one day.
I feel like for animation, it actually, like, that part of the process is more like the actual first step for us. So it's almost
Interesting.
like, in order to do animation or learn animation, you have to be able to be good at doing like your 1 second, 2 second practices, right? Because like, even when I was studying 3D animation, it was like, don't try to animate this whole thing to start with. Can you even make a character jump? Can you make it like just one thing, right? Maybe it's like 1 second, 2 seconds, but you do that a lot and you get to kind of like compile it together to create the whole thing. And so like, we might be really ambitious about wanting to do all this, but like, we don't even know how to, like, we've never studied that reference yet, or even analyzed that reference before. And how do I expect myself to analyze that reference and do the practice, like actually output in one go? Like, it's almost impossible. And yeah, so for animation, I feel like it's always been just like things that we did, which was like 1 second practices, and that's how we build our ability to do everything else. But yeah, I guess like it doesn't really come in the same way for like you guys as much. It's like it's really interesting. I feel like all these like artistic disciplines have different things that we prioritize. But then at the same time, like later on, as we get better and better, like we take other things that are more foundational to other start like creative endeavors, and that becomes like something that is used to enhance like our way of thinking about work. So, yeah.
Yeah. I like the way you described animation, because to me animation is like you're creating life on the page.
Yeah.
Right? Or you're exaggerating it. But how can you create life on the page if you don't study life itself?
Life itself, yeah. So yeah, it's like lots of reference studies. Yeah, but yeah, like I don't think by animation. It's still recording.
Yeah, I think it's still recording.
Oh, it's got a heat sign.
Oh, it's overheating.
So maybe we should wrap this up.
Oh, okay. No, we can wrap this up.
Oh, dang, I wanted to hear more though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is a good part of the conversation.
I'm just gonna have a very easy wrap up. Thank you everyone for talking.
Thank you
I'd
for
love to
having
talk
me.
more. I'll
Yeah.
get a better setup next time, so we can actually,
Episode 2.
next because this is really nice.
Yeah, I really
Thanks,
enjoyed
Rob,
it.
for joining
Yeah,
us.
it's cool.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
for
Mark.
tuning in from.
Sorry for the
Yeah.
prompt ending. That was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Is that
All right, thank you for
That's
watching. Peace.
All right.
Subscribe, like and subscribe.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah.